lower elementary teacher at Luna Elementary School, and I teach first, second, and third grade. I've been using Seesaw for 6 years prior to the district adopting it, so I have been using it and am excited that more schools are, because I really think it's driving the changes and updates that Seesaw has made. So today I'm going to drop the presentation link in there so you guys have access to the slides. But really today is about just what's new in Seesaw, some of the updates that they've done. So if you've been using Seesaw, hopefully these are useful to you. If you've never used Seesaw before, you have the presentation and you can come back to it when you're ready. But today I just kind of want to start out with what's new. So in the chat, if you want to unmute yourselves, or in the chat, I would just want to know, those of you that have used Seesaw, what is your student's favorite tool? The audio, the text, the pages, what is their favorite tool that they like to use? Just give you a minute to share a few of those tools. So drawing tool, video, recording their answer, lots of videos, especially our younger students, which this is geared towards pre-K too. Our third graders use it here as well. Changing their background, yeah. Some of those tools you wish they haven't found, but they did find. I like that, Kelly. All right, so today, so we did talk about video, we talked about drawing, having the multiple pages, I think is more of a teacher tool that we like, but so those are some things that we hit. So today I want to explore with you three new features that Seesaw has added, and then at the end, just a couple organizational tools that have already been there, but some teachers may or may not have been using them. So the first one is probably my favorite. So teachers can now add audio to their pages. Previously, you could only do this in the instructions or in a caption, but now you can add audio to labels, shapes, images, and captions, pretty much anything. So this is a great addition for younger learners when you wanted to add something, but they had no clue what they were doing, or virtuals, you know, their parents were having to do a lot of the reading. So like I said, you can add voice to labels, to shapes, to images, and to caption. Caption's always been an option. So how do you do this? Anytime you add a label that you want to be read to the student, you are going to click those little 3 dots. So there's an example there under cat, and then you'll click voice, and you can record your voice or upload an audio. Now, no longer than 5 minutes, and you can also upload MP3s, 4s, and WAV files. So that's pretty neat. Now, the cool thing too is in student view, if they can read it, they don't have to hit it. Like there'll be a little speaker icon. So if they need the help, they can click it and it'll read it to them. If they don't need it, then that's, you know, it's there for your students who do need it. So I think that's pretty neat. So you can have up to 20 recordings per page, which is a lot, but if you need it, it's there. However, once the student starts work, the recordings can't be played. So if they're recording their voice or they're drawing, that feature is no longer available. So they'll have to click on those things before they want to record anything on their own. Okay, and let's see. Make sure that when you start back to school, your devices, your students' devices are updated, because this is required to use some of these new tools. All right, so just real quick, again, unmute or put in the chat, how do you think using the audio feature can deepen your students' learning through Seesaw activities? Does anybody have any suggestions? How can you use the audio feature to deepen their learning? Reading questions aloud. Awesome. Anybody else want to share? Directions. And it's nice because you can give directions on that first page, but if you have multiple pages or you're going through each slide, it's nice to be able to revisit those directions on each page. Very cool. Some of the other things, other than directions, you know, other languages, so your ELL learners, and then other scaffolds like explaining, reminders, or helping them with the background knowledge are some other things that you might be able to do with that audio tool. My other favorite tool, number 2, is being able to lock object size. So you've always been able to lock things, but if you have students, especially young ones, we have 3-year-olds using Seesaw here. You know, the dragging and dropping, sometimes you resize it. So what's great about this is that you can lock the size of an object so they can still move the object, but they can't resize the text box or the image. So this is one of my second favorite options that they have added. So on that label, so say you want them to be able to move that cat label again. Now they can hear it. See, there's the speaker tool. If you click those 3 dots, then you click lock and lock size. So lock all will lock everything on your page. But lock size just makes it to where your students can't resize those text boxes and pictures and images. Okay, so like I said, they can still move the object around, but it'll stay that size. Again, lock, you can lock all. But there's some shortcuts too. So if you're Apple user, if you do Command Alt, if you want to lock everything on the page, so you don't have to click the 3 dots on every single thing in the activity that you've put there. Just hit Command Alt or PC Shift M will lock everything on that page. So that's a nice shortcut. And the other shortcut for size, same thing. So they'll be able to move everything. They just won't be able to resize it. Is Command Alt or Shift L are those shortcuts. All right. The last thing, if you joined Jennifer at 1, she did 5 tips for working with Seesaw, and she ran out of time. I know she really wanted to touch on the progress feature, so I'm going to spend a few minutes showing you this new feature. All right, so in your Seesaw class, you will have this progress tab. Now, those of you that used Canvas last year, it's a lot like one of the screens in Canvas to help you, to show you all the assignments and who's done what and what's still missing. So on this one, this is kind of what it looks like. And I'm going to go through just a few features because it looks like a lot, but I think it's going to be a really neat tool. I think now that all of our students are going to be back, I'm thinking for parent-teacher conferences or even conferencing with students individually to kind of help them with how much work that they're completing in a day, in a week, you know, any specified time. Okay, so right now we're in activities view, and it has all the activities on the top. And down below, you'll see all the different students and then who's completed it or not, or who started it but hasn't finished it. And then on the top, it has how many students have completed that activity. So if you're expecting them all to complete it, you'll know that you have 6 more that need to do that one. And then if you just drag over the activity, it'll show you how many, the differences between completed draft and who hasn't started it, or how many haven't started it. So this is what it used to look like. You could get into the activity and see each student and who's done what, which is still there. This activities view just shows you the summary. It just gives you more information in one sitting. So you can click on one student and it tells you how many activities they've completed. And then these, hopefully you're familiar with, but if not, red is not started. And then that little orangey yellow is draft, needs teacher approval, and then completed and approved are those icons. So again, if you hover over a student, It'll tell you how many that they've completed, what they have in draft, and what they haven't started. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I check in with my students in the morning and, they have a Post-it note or a few goals to get done for the day. I thought this would be really neat. You could even screenshot that and send it to them in Seesaw and say, this is what you got. You're done with 14, but today we got to get those other 4 done, Allie. So progress is only visible to you and your admin. Parents cannot see this piece. It's just for you. You can print certain things and share with parents. That's up to you. But you can just see engagement with the different activities. You can follow up with students. You can provide families or admin or your team with different kinds of reports. So those things are available. So those are the 3 new tools that Seesaw has added that I think are the top 3. There are some others, and I'll kind of show you how to go when you have time to explore those different things. But for now, I want to show you 2 organizational tools that have helped me in using Seesaw, and one of those is using folders. And I'm going to just play this quick video for you, and then I can show you on my screen. And my goal, I meant to say this at the beginning, my goal is to kind of go through this presentation, and if you can have your Seesaw class up, you can kind of work on these things and play around with them. But I know not all of you are next to a computer, so I didn't want to force you to practice. But at the end, we're going to have probably 15, 20 minutes. So if you guys need help or want to practice with me, I'd be happy to do that. All right, so folders, here we go.
Welcome to the Seesaw Folders mini training. And for teachers who are already set up with an account and class on Seesaw, be sure to have another device or window ready to follow along with the steps. Research shows that digital portfolios support students to reflect on and celebrate their learning, which leads to greater learning gains over time. Digital portfolios are most effective when they're easy for students to navigate. Seesaw folders help with this because they keep Seesaw posts organized. By the end of this video, you will be able to create folders, tag posts and activities, view and approve work by folder, and keep folders organized. First, create folders in class settings. That's the wrench icon. It looks like this. You can find it here. In the Folders section, click Manage Folders. Then create a folder. Enter the folder name and choose a color. That's it. You have your first folder. Create more folders by clicking Create a Folder and repeating the process. Your turn. Pause and create your first folder. In your classroom and on Seesaw, folders are only helpful if you use them. Here's how to tag posts and activities to folders. There are 2 ways to tag posts to folders. 1, on the bottom of any post, click the folder icon. It looks like this. You can find it here. The second way to tag a folder is by clicking the 3 dots, then Edit Folders. Either way, you'll be able to select a folder or create a new one. You'll know a post is tagged to a folder because you'll see the folder name down here. Tagging posts one by one is time-consuming. Here's how you can save some time. When you assign a Seesaw activity, you can tag a folder. Click Edit Students, Folders, Skills. In the Folders tab, select a folder you want all student responses to be automatically organized into. Remember, folders organize student posts in the journal. When you assign the activity, you'll see tagged folders down here. When students respond to the activity, their post will automatically be tagged to the folder, which saves you a ton of time. Pause the video now and practice tagging posts and activities to folders. Now that you're tagging posts and activities to folders, here's how you view and approve posts by folder. To view student posts by folder, click on the class journal or a student's name on the right, then click on the folder icon that appears. It looks like this. You can find it here. Choose a folder. You'll see all posts tagged to that folder. You can also approve student work by folder. When you click Review, click on the same folder icon and click on a folder. You'll only see pending posts tagged to that folder. This allows you to review all posts by assignment or subject at once. Pause the video now and practice. It's important to keep all those folders organized. Edit or delete folders you no longer need by clicking on Manage Folders in Class Settings. Click on a folder to edit or delete. Edit the name and color, or delete it. Deleting the folder does not delete the student work. All student work will still be in the class journal. One question we get a lot is, can I change the order of my folders? Unfortunately, not at this time. Here's what you can do. Right now, folders show up alphabetically. You can use numbers in front of the names to put your folders in your preferred order. Another question we get is, can I use icon to support my little learners? Also not at this time. What you can do is copy and paste emojis into your folder name like this. A third question we get is, can students tag their own posts to folders so I don't have to? The answer to this is yes. There are two ways. First, as the teacher, you can enable students to edit their posts. Enable item editing in class settings. Students can then tag folders by clicking the three dots, then edit folders. You can also enable students to tag folders when they post. Click Show the Add Folder step under the Folder section in class settings, and choose Students and Teachers. Now, whenever students post, they'll be prompted to select a folder before submitting. It's your turn. Pause now and explore these tips. Thanks for joining us today. We have so much more we'd love to share. Welcome to this.
Thank you. So sorry. Thank you for letting me know. So with folders, at first, I had students add to the folder, and sometimes they would come up to me. I'm like, I don't know if this is math, if this is language, what is this work? And I would often turn it around on them and say, I don't know, what is it? Is it numbers? Is it letters? And so for the younger students, I didn't realize it, but yes, they needed help at first, but it helped them make those connections of, we're doing numbers right now, so that's math. So I like having them choose a folder, but there's also times where I like to choose it to make sure it gets in the right folder. So, and it saves time for if they choose the wrong folder, then I don't have to edit it if you do that as you create the activity. All right, the other organization that I want to make sure, now with the progress monitoring tab, I might not use the calendar view as much, but I wanted to make sure it's still there. It's always been there. There'll be times when I need a picture for the yearbook or something. I'm like, oh, we had field day on this day, and I can go back through Seesaw and find pictures. And so calendar view is a great tool to go back and find certain dates. So I'm going to play this quick video for you about calendar view.
Hi, I'm Suvi, and in this video, I'll show you how to use the calendar view to view posts in Seesaw. Calendar view is a great way to view student work from specific days over the year. You can view all student responses from one day and locate all items that were created on a specific day. You can navigate to the calendar view by selecting the journal and tapping the calendar icon by the big green Add button. The calendar view is another way to view your class posts, similar to the class feed. Instead of viewing Seesaw posts within a feed, the calendar allows you to browse Seesaw posts arranged by the specific date they were added. You can easily scroll back in time or jump to a specific date. Tap on a date in bold to select it and view the items made on that day. To expand an item, just tap on it. From here, you can like the item, leave a comment, and use all the other tools accessible from the feed view, such as adding to folders, sharing to your class blog, and more. To select a different date, tap the back button. You can also swipe right and left to jump to the next calendar date with items. You can also sort the calendar by student, by folder, or by student and folder. Tap into a student's name to only view their items. Select a folder to view that student's item in that folder. Here you'll see the calendar has adjusted to just reflect Julie's items. You can see an item count associated with each date. Just tap into the date to view that student's item in that folder on that day. The calendar is a great way for you and your students to view work that's taken place over the school year. It's fun to watch students' journals grow and see progress over time. It also makes it easier to navigate back to specific dates or assignments, or check to see if all students submitted their journal entry for that day. We hope that the calendar view is a helpful tool in your classroom.
I unmuted this time. See, I learned. All right, so calendar view. I knew about calendar view, but I didn't know that you could limit it by student or by folder. So I thought those were really cool things that you learn as you go. Let's see. All right. So that's it. You learned how to add voice recordings, audio. You could attach audio files. You can lock the size so those things don't move and frustrate your students or parents or even you. And then the progress will be kind of interesting to play around with this year. And you know how to get organized with folders and calendar view. Don't forget that these features you must update. If you're using the Chromebooks, it's fine, but the iPads will need to update to make sure that these tools work. So before you go, I'm going to come back to this. As a Seesaw, so I went through the Pioneer program and Ambassador, but as a teacher, you know, especially as we get going next week, I don't really have time to go look for these things or all that stuff. So Seesaw, I signed up with them and I can show you. I'm going to show you in just a second. They send stuff to me. So when I have time to be like, oh, I can watch this video or, oh, I can check this out, which is really great. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So if you just go to web.seesaw.me, it's their homepage. And if you go to resources, there's a couple things here. The first one is the professional learning communities. So if you want to sign up and have them send you stuff or to become a pioneer for your building or an ambassador, if you've already been using Seesaw, Pioneer, you're going to get through it'll take you no time. But I recommend it. It's a great way to learn the basics and to get information without having to go search for it. And then the other thing, I know that there might be a lot of ambassadors here or pioneers here. So the training and professional development, you guys are going to be helping other teachers at your schools learn Seesaw. So I just kind of wanted you to know under resources, training, professional development, there's all kinds of free trainings. And today, my presentation, I tweaked it, but I got it from this site. You know, why reinvent it when there's something out there for you? So I just kind of wanted to show you that. And then the other thing, Seesaw Connect might be a great opportunity for you to learn more and to connect with other Seesaw users. It is during our professional development next week. So depending on your school and your professional development schedule, you might be able to join their conference. So that is an option as well. Let me switch back to presentation. So I will post the slides again and I'll post the attendance link. But before we leave, I just want to know which update are you most excited about and why? So is it the audio? Is it the locking size? Is it the progress tab? Tell me which one is your favorite. What are you going to use? And I will post the links that you need. And then after that, I'd be happy to hang around and answer any questions or take you through my Seesaw classroom to show you anything. All right, progress tab, audio. All right, here's the slides again, just in case. And those of you that are ready to get on with your day, here is the attendance link and the name of this session. Hey, Miss Bradley, it's good to see you. My lights went on. Good luck this year, everybody. Have fun using Seesaw. Looking forward to this year being back in person with my students, with my teachers. You're welcome. Y'all have a great day.
Great work, Sarah.
Thank you, Martine. Sorry it was
On a
shorter.
roll, man. Thank you so much for all your help.
I know I get excited and I just go.
Polishing your presentation skills, man. You killing it.
I appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you
a lot
so
of fun.
much.
Of course. It was fun to watch all the other presentations this morning as well.
Just make sure you everybody, you did your attendance for this section. Those of you that are still in there.
Anybody still here have any questions or need assistance? I'm here to help. I'll drop the attendance again just in case.